Welcome everyone back to Pommy and Oz. Hope we're all doing really well. If you're new around here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Can't thank you enough for the support. And we're here today to talk about the VFL. We missed this last week. Apologies for that. Thank you to those who reached out to me. Big shout out to you guys and girls. You're all amazing. I did totally forget. So, figured we are playing Collingwood, so it's always a good time to talk about the vibe. And it was an 83-point win for the Blues. This was a real buck in the trend. Last time we played, we obviously got absolutely peppered by these side. Obviously, total shift around for the Blues and Collingwood in how they're going in the regular season, but also how they're going in VFL. So this was a really stout performance at Princes Park. The boys really did put on a show. And this was a really, really interesting game because, like, the first quarter, Collingwood came out strong. They were really hot. They were looking to put the pressure on the ball. And the Blues really did manage to, at the quarter time, really showcase their ability to transition. It was really interesting how the defence worked in this game because obviously we're against Benny Croker. And the Blues really did take to him. They really looked to get him. And he did pick up an injury in the end. But outside of that, the Blues really did play a real good control brand in that first half. It was a lot more what you really is conducive with good football, keeping their hands off it. And then the third term, they absolutely took the team apart. The Blues showcasing real counter-attacking football and real deep score launches. And they looked a class above. And in the end, the Blues were almost too good too quickly. And it was a real good little performance from this. A lot to take out in this game. The Blues were really strong. So let's get into the individual performances. Brodie Kemp, obviously he came back into the side after this game, but he was absolutely impeccable during this game. Incredibly strong. 19 touches, 15 kicks, 89.5% disposal efficiency. 12 marks, 1 inside 50, 5 rebound 50s, 8 intercepts, and 5 score involvements. And he really did play loose on Benny Croker. And this is a real interesting little facet here because we saw it in the Port game. Defensively, this guy's not very strong, and this is probably not what you want him to do. You don't want him to be playing one-on-one. If you look at players who are like him in the AFL, you want him as the extra. You want him as that loose to be able to get up the ground, take them intercepts, particularly at a 55, 50 away from goal. And the way Benny Croker plays really did suit Brodie Kemp. And this is a real interesting one because if he's going to play seniors, you don't want him playing the pure lockdown role. That is not his strength. It never has been and it never will be, I don't think. Obviously, he could be better defensively. I'm not shying away from his defensive responsibility. But in this type of game, you do want to play a solid one-on-one like a Jacob Whittaker on the best forward, and then you want someone who's defensively accountable. Now, that's probably Mitch McGovern in the seniors. However, at times I do find Mitch McGovern and Brodie Kemp are almost the same player, and that's going to be a really interesting predicament because he has to improve his one-on-one. I do feel like putting him in the VFL was a good idea for him to get his confidence because we did see him play a little bit big and bolsterous towards the second half with some good effects. So this is one that I really want Brodie to go and work on. I'm a huge fan. I think he's a walk-up start for our best 22, and I really do feel like he's one of the best ball users down the back, as showcased by that. Everything he kicks turns to gold, and he's got the ability to penetrate that first line of forward press to avoid that long kick down the wing. It was a solid game from him, and you know what? He was back in the seniors the next week. Jack Martin, a lot he's talked about Jack, and his work rate above and up the ground was fantastic. Played limited minutes, as we have seen over the last couple of weeks with Jack. 17 touches, 3 of them kicks, a lot of handballs. He was a real conduit here. It was almost like a pseudo cross between Erasio Fantasia's role in the seniors and Elijah Hollands. He really did link up well. Only going at 64.7, 2 marks, so we didn't really see his work rate around the ground. Did have a little bit of pinch hitting though, like I said, hence the Erasio role in the midfield stoppages. 4 score involvements, very good tackle as well, where Carlton were really on the thin side of defensively. And he got that tackle there and he got the hold in the ball. 6 out of 10 for Jack Martin. I did like Jack's game. Still a lot to work on though. He really needs to get the fitness. He did look kind of behind the 8 ball and you could see the other guys had played a full year of VFL to this stage. But no doubt about his talent. Definitely one of these players I think is bright lights footballer, though. I don't think you're ever going to see a really great game in VFL. I think you're going to see it in the seniors. Jackson Binns, everyone has talked about this game, so we're going to have to depat this game. But for a winger who's pinch hitting on the ball, 47 touches with 36 kicks, is never happening in the AFL. Because to put it in perspective, if Errol Goulden played this game, I reckon he might have had a Jason Gillespie score against Bangladesh, to be honest. But that being said, you can only do what you're doing. And this was a phenomenal game. He was involved in everything, particularly Carlton's overlap exit. 74.5% disposal efficiency. And his marking, he was a real good little conduit for anything in transition, particularly from that mid to forward part, which we do lack in the seniors. 3 inside 50s though, 4 rebound 50s. With these type of touches, I would have expected these numbers to be quite big. And towards the second half, no disrespect to Binns, this was more the players. It did feel like it was watching the older brother who's got the football and everyone's passing to him so they can play next week. 9 intercepts, he did show something defensively this week. 2 clearances, the 3 goals were really well taken goals and really the end of quality teamwork. 9 score involvements, again, I'd expect to be a little bit higher from 40, even though that's an obscene amount. When you've had the ball 50 times nearly, I would expect it. 3 tackles. That wing there, I felt like the other guys did a lot of defensive work. But this is a real interesting predicament for me because I watched this game and it just screamed Matt Cottrell. It screamed Matt Cottrell when he played VFL. And that is where I think his best role is. He isn't going to be a Blake Acres type defensive midfielder. He certainly isn't an Ollie Hollands defensive type. If you put Ollie Hollands and Jackson Binns, everyone's complaining about Jackson Binns' size. I mean, Ollie Hollands' size. Jackson Binns isn't the same mould, probably worse. So this is a really interesting one because there's got to be a point in time that Carlton do think about it. I think it's maybe too far long in the tooth in the season. But this time next year, I would like to see him play probably a little bit higher up the ground and try and look at that Matt Cottrell role. There is certainly something there because you're not a muppet to find 47 balls. But 10 out of 10, he was absolutely sensational this game, it has to be said. Mark Pitnett, he came in and he had to. Was it a great game? No, he was really protecting himself, I thought, in this game. 17 touches, 70.6 disposal efficiency, 25 hit-outs. The clearances were solid, 4 score involvements as well. This was just a real Mark Pitnett game. You could see here that there was definitely an air in my mind that he was playing seniors. Him and Mason Cox kind of broke even, it has to be said. Particularly Mason Cox beat him around the ground. But let's not pick on the boy. He is what he is. He got through it, which was operation number 1. In my opinion, it was a 5 out of 10. It was an interesting game, though, for him, because I don't think this game would have got him back into the seniors without TDK. But he's there now. He's there now, and we wish him all the best, and he'll go from strength to strength. Harry Lemmy, this was a really interesting one here, because I felt like when I was watching them, they were playing against players who really, it has to be said, aren't exactly world class. When you've got like a backline of Sam Glover, Billy Frampton, Chew Jiath, I was like, come on, Lemmy, kill the game. And he had 1 goal. 6 marks, though, he was a real good conduit. And he was playing that real secondary role this week, which I thought was interesting with no Liam McMahon, to be honest. But that being said, it was really interesting to see how he worked and how he was a link man between the midfield and the forward line. Some real nice little moments there of giving the ball off just outside 50. Something to work with there. Just a 5.5 out of 10 for Harry Lemmy, but I did enjoy his game, it has to be said. Lewis Young, we know, came in. 7 marks, 14 touches, 78.6 disposal efficiency, playing really high up the ground, so it was interesting that he came into the seniors as a forward for a period of time, hence the 2 inside 50s. I do like he's getting a little bit quicker with his ball use. You did see it in the AFL, though it's not quite there yet, and it isn't his game as per se. 7 intercepts, though, was really strong, albeit against a very baby forward line. Did like his game, though, 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. I don't think he would have been in the seniors had he not had the injury to Harry Mackay. Rob Monaghan, my boy, he's a new Pommy in Ozza. We do love him. I did like his work ethic in this game. 13 touches, 61.5 disposal. That needs to be tidied up, and it will be. 2 marks, the 3 inside 50s. There were nice deep launches as well. Took a real nice intercept as well, where he sharked a handball. Bit of stoppage work from Robbie as well in the forward half, which I liked. Dished it out really well, was a good little strong defensive player. 5 out of 10. You can see he's working with Matty Owies, and I do see a little bit of Matty Owies' development. These were very early Matty Owies games where it's kind of there now. The building blocks are there. We're just waiting for him to put them little, like, you know, them triangle pieces that finish off the castle. Did you ever do that? You know, when you used to build, like, a wall and then you put them weird tight triangle. I don't know what the fuck I'm on about, but yeah, you know what I mean. 5 out of 10 for Omanan. Cooper Laws, I'm a big fan of this guy. This guy's got a little bit of panache, a little bit of fuggedness, and I like that. And he plays a lot of dirty ball, which is I'm a big fan of, as you know. 23 touches, 65.2% spent. When you've got nearly half of them as contested possessions, I'm not expecting that to be fluent. His marking is so good from the back half of the ground, particularly in the corridor, it has to be said. Drove the ball inside 50 at all opportunities. 4 clearances, took his 2 goals amazingly. Tackle beast as well. Never got any momentum going in the centre. 9 out of 10. I thought he was close to best on. Hudson O'Keefe, good to see him back out there. Suffered with a little bit of a niggle at the end of this game. The 3 hit-outs, the 1 goal, which was good. 7 score involvements, which has to be said, pretty strong from Hudson. He was really, really looking to dish off, and he was really a potent threat around the stoppages of handballing out. Tackles inside 50. Ball use was a bit of a concern here, and he was a little bit behind the 8 ball, but a 5 out of 10 is probably fair for his game. Did like it, though, because I feel like solo rucking now with Murkoff, we're going to see what he's about, because that is the role. We're looking for someone to be that second ruckman, and I think Hudson's going to fly in the remaining VFL fixtures. Domier started really well. That first quarter, I was thinking, fuck, this could be a 10. Kind of died in the ass there, but that also has to be said that the ball didn't really see inside 50. The 9 touches, the 4 intercepts, 2 score involvements, 2 tackles, which all came in the first half. I feel like we've got a real plateau with Dom. I feel like there is something there. I felt this game was where he could really impose himself, particularly when Crocker started to really go down. It was a 4 out of 10. I was a bit disappointed with Dom. Ashton, man. This was Ashton's best game of the year for me, and he really did go up against Jack Martin, and you suddenly saw, Jesus, this kid's got something, and he played weak opposition, and he showed his class. 19 touches, 9 marks, really working hard up that wing, really showcasing you can work from high half forward and be a threat. 3 inside 50s, the 3 intercepts. He was a constant menace on kick-out defence. 2 goals, 10 score involvements and tackles as well to go in that. This was an 8 out of 10. This is a real good game, and I'm looking at 2025. I think you're going to see this guy fly. Mark my words. He'll be in the seniors 2025. Put a couple more of these games together, Ashy. You'll be fine. But showcased his talent. Like he's got that vision. He's got that vision. He takes the dangerous kick on. There was times in that second quarter where the game kind of like the pace came out of it, and Ashton looked to get them going. And I feel like we need more senior players like that who can sense the game. You can see he's a natural footballer. And finish off with Alex Murkoff. 13 hit-outs, 100% disposal efficiency, very short kicks, 3 marks, 4 score involvements, 2 tackles, 2 goals. I like this game from him. I have to say, I did want to see more rucking, so I thought he was fortuitous. Some people might say these scores are low. It's kind of fortuitous where these goals came. It was just a stock standard game, though, for me, a ruckman, but very solid and very, very impressive little build there, because these two, him and Hudson, are going to be ones to watch. That's the VFL wrap there. Let me know what you thought. Peace, love and light. Make sure you stay around. We've got loads of content coming up this week. Palm out.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's